I know I'm a week late to this review, but we're here now. So are you wondering if Guardians of the Galaxy is worth it? Well, it's time to find out. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy X here, and I'm back with another video. Oh man, this was supposed to be out last week and stuff, but I got tied up doing other stuff, and I have a surprise video coming. We just finished, I think, decorating the house for Christmas. Yes, everybody's like, but it's November. I know, but we wanted to start early and stuff like that. So that's why we know that we'll be able to enjoy it, and we had a lot to do, stuff like that. So stay tuned for that, because we almost finished, and I want to show you guys and stuff like that because it looks really nice and stuff. We're gonna review the Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that because I beat it last week and stuff like that, and and this game would really surprise me. If you guys have watched my recommends, I said it really shocked me and stuff like that. So I have a lot of things to say about this. So if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Make sure you video out the channel so much. And without further ado, this the Guardians of the Galaxy review. Alright, oh man, you guys already know what it is, stuff like that. I talk about the story first, no spoilers. So if you worry about spoilers, it'll be no spoilers and stuff like that. So, if you haven't played the game yet, stuff like that, I highly recommend you play it. But, so we're going to talk about the story, then the gameplay, then the graphics, and then at the end, I would say if it's worth it or not and stuff. So, start off with the story. The story is downright amazing. Like, now, coming from Marvel's Avengers and stuff like that, we all know how that game went, stuff like that. Basically left a bad taste in everybody's mouth, especially when it came to the story and stuff like that. And the gameplay and the structure, because it was a live service game. So when Square Enix would come out with this, it was like, everyone's like, oh god, another live service game with Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh no. But he said, no, this is going to be different. They learn from their mistakes and stuff like that. I think that this is a new studio that, because I think the one that made was Crystal Dynamics, and this one is a different studio. But they're all part of the same thing. But no, this right here is a story, linear driven game, stuff like that, which I really love this, because not every game has to be live service, not every game has to be open world. Sometimes it's best just to enjoy a linear story and stuff like that, especially if the story is good. Now if the story was not good, then it'll be a different story. But it breaks up the pace of, oh my god, you have Far Cry 6, you have Assassin's Creed and stuff like that. All these games that we became accustomed to and stuff like that, doing all over and all over again with thousands of missions, hundreds of hours and stuff like that. No, this is like a simple 20-ish so hours and stuff like that. So I was surprised, but the story, it just starts off so strong, and you get the background story of all the characters, stuff like that. Each character has their past and stuff like that, and what they've been through, and they explain that to you, stuff like that, in moments, stuff like that. The dialogue between the Guardians, between Gamora, Rocket and stuff, Groot and stuff, Star-Lord aka Peter Quill, and Drax and stuff like that. It's just so amazing, stuff like that. And I even found myself like laughing and stuff, at times because, the jokes and stuff like that, how they snap on each other and stuff. It was just great, stuff like that. They really played the part and stuff like that. And shout out to the voice actors and stuff like that because they really nailed it out the park, stuff like that. Because, they blend together so well, stuff like that. And it was very important because if you guys saw Guardians of the Galaxy's movies, stuff they're a group of misfits, like misfits and stuff like that. So it was very important to nail these characters, and they did stuff like that. Even the side characters and stuff, really engaging and stuff. Now the pace does kind of dip off in the second end, but it's okay because it really picks up and stuff like that because the story starts out so basic. But then as you go along and stuff like that, it turns into this big galactic, like, oh my god, we gotta save the universe and stuff. But story, absolute fantastic, stuff like that. Even if you don't like the gameplay, the story alone is worth the price and stuff like that. This is literally one of the best superhero games or story-based games since the first Marvel Spider-Man from Insomniac and Miles Morales and stuff like that. I'm putting that right up there with them and stuff like that, story-wise and stuff. Great character, great chemistry from all the characters and stuff. If you see me looking down, I'm looking down on my phone and stuff like that. It's not a script. It's just, it's just my notes that I took and stuff. But, it's especially getting to know the backstory of every character is really important because, some moments and stuff like that, you will be talking, you'll be in your room and you pick up an object and, and you examine it, and then, Gamora or Drax and stuff will come in and talk to you about that item and stuff like that, about their past and stuff like that, and what they've been through. And there's a lot of heartfelt moments in here and stuff like that, which tugged on my heartstrings because some of them I can really relate to, stuff like that, and stuff. So it just sucks you in and stuff like that. And I might even do another playthrough of it and stuff like that because it was that good. But the story, the characters, the backstory and stuff like that, from the voice acting, fantastic and stuff. Wow, that one stuff. Story stuff. Now here's where everybody might raise an eyebrow and stuff like that, and I did too, because when we first saw this game, I was like, yikes and stuff like that. The gameplay. And now when this game was first revealed and stuff like that, like a few months ago, and they showed the little gameplay segment, I was like, this thing looks laggy, it looks clunky and stuff like that, and you can only play as Star-Lord and stuff like that, which turned a lot of people off because, come from Marvel's Avengers and stuff like that. People want to play as Rocket and all the other characters. But, this is just focusing on Star-Lord and stuff like that. So when we start off with the gameplay and the combat, now, it is fun and stuff like that. It's like, you might not like it, but the more you invest into it and the more that you unlock skills and perks and stuff like that, the more fun it would be. It will become. And then at the end, I found myself actually enjoying the gameplay, a little bit more than what I went into it, stuff like that, because you're Star-Lord and you have command over the characters. So you basically you have your abilities and skills and stuff like that, and you can also control the other characters. So let's say if you're shooting and stuff like that, which his guns gotta do more damage and stuff like that, those little pea shooters, stuff like that. But each character has their own abilities and stuff like that, and you just and you can command them to attack. So you can send a Gamora or Drax or Rocket to do their abilities and stuff. So I really like that aspect, even though I prefer to play as other characters. That was still cool and stuff like that, and it actually blended well and stuff like that. So you'll be doing damage with your ice guns, and then and when you freeze the enemy, you call Gamora in. She come down, slice them, and break them apart, stuff like that. So some moments I was like, wow, like this is actually not bad, stuff like that. I'm really enjoying this. So it was actually surprised me that I would actually kind of like the gameplay at the end, stuff like that. That you're just playing with one character. Now, when it comes to Peter Quill and stuff, he does have a couple moves and stuff like that, a couple melee stuff like that. I found myself just using the ice guns and then just like meleeing them and stuff like that. But I think that they can tweak and stuff like that, and of course, especially in the next game, have us to switch to multiple characters and stuff like that. He wasn't bad, but at certain times and stuff like that, like a lot of these enemies have multiple health bars. So if you're just shooting at them, stuff like that, they'll go down real slowly, stuff like that. So basically, I was spamming my team to go attack them because it is what did the most damage. But on the gameplay and stuff, I'm really fun. You do have perks and stuff like that you can unlock and stuff like that, and your teammates have skills too that they can unlock, which I didn't even dabble into. I used like one or two of their skills, and then I didn't even unlock the rest and stuff. So maybe I should go back to unlock those. But the game was really not that challenging. I'll let you that you put the difficulty up. Another thing, real quick, I gotta talk about is the settings. You can change like mostly how the game plays, so the damage you do to the difficulty, to the health bars, to just crazy amount of customizations that you could change to the game and stuff to either make it harder or more easier for you, stuff like that. I really like that aspect and stuff like that. So the gameplay itself and stuff, it's fun and stuff like that. It does need a little bit of work because it can be a little bit too much, stuff like that. There were some frame rate drops here and there and stuff, especially in the more chaotic scenes, stuff like that. Now you do have scenes where you're flying their little ship and stuff like that. Those were fun, but gameplay is fun, stuff like that. So if you was on the fence about it, I still recommend you try it, but the story is mostly the focus. And some people might not gonna like this, but at some points of the story, you will be walking around a lot and watching cutscenes and stuff like that. There's not a lot of like fight scenes and stuff like that in the middle of the game, but towards the end there is a lot and stuff. But most of the times, it's all about the story. You will be walking around multiple times, talking to characters, hearing backstories and stuff like that. So this is a story-driven game first, and then the gameplay looks like it came second and stuff like that. So it's basically more story than action. So if you're looking for action in your face, stuff like that, you may be disappointed until you get to the end. But it seems like they just focus on the story and stuff. So yeah, so gameplay fun, but could be better and stuff like that. Hopefully in the next game. Graphics, boy, these graphics, I was shocked about how godly the graphics look. Dude, let me calm my hot levels down. The graphics in this game, way better than that trash Marvel's Avengers, stuff like that. The graphics in this game and stuff are amazing. Attention to detail. I love detail in games, so I look for that more. To the way that you walk around, to each character, how they act, stuff like that, to the facial expressions, stuff like that. The facial expressions in this game, especially in the cutscenes and the pre-render stuff like that, are amazing. Now, some of the conversations will be a little like their face will be like stiff, but most scenes, you can tell when the character is sad, confused, upset, and stuff like that. You know, they put real emotion and stuff like that, and I love that because that just gives me invested and stuff like that. Like when I see like Gamora cry or stuff like that, like I feel that stuff like that. Like, you know, she's really in pain and stuff. So the graphics, phenomenal. And another thing, attention to details. So when you walk around in most environments, like the ship, you can pick up items and expect them, stuff like that. Kind of like we see in Last of Us, Uncharted, and stuff like that. You know, so you can pick up items. You know, look at them and stuff. Even to how the characters walk and stuff like that. You know, Peter Quill had that little, 80s swag and stuff like that to him and stuff. So it's just amazing stuff like that. The detail alone. Square Enix, this game really did its job, stuff like that. So the detail and stuff, even when you're in combat, it just looks great and stuff like that. And the environments and stuff, real detail goes into it. Now there is a quality mode, so it does 4K. I think it does ray tracing. I'm not sure. 4K 30 frames, or there's a performance mode for 60 frames. Now, this is a story-based game. I didn't play it in 60 frames because I wasn't really I'm looking at the gameplay like that. I'm mostly like stories, so I want the best visuals as possible and stuff. But of course, if you want 1080p stuff like that, I think it dropped down to like 1080p or 1440p stuff like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, the graphics amazing, stuff like that. Hands down, one of the prettiest games stuff like that I've seen since Kena and Ratchet and Clank and stuff like that. Out there in detail, stuff like that. The character models are great, facial animations, the details of the levels and the ships and the items and stuff like that. They really nailed it in the graphical departments and stuff, and you feel like you're there and stuff like that with the Guardians. But graphics, woo, nice job. Now, while all that being said, where do I put Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff? The first game I think that they ever got, probably and stuff. I'm not sure, but where do I put this on my review tier list, stuff like that? Because if you guys don't know, I have a tier list. So it goes from trash tier, okay tier, good tier, great tier, amazing tier, and masterpiece tier. That's my tier list. So where do I put Guardians of the Galaxy? I'm giving this game an amazing tier. This game right here and stuff really knocked it out the park, and it really saved Square Enix and stuff, because people were saying, oh, just let Insomniac do all the Marvel games, because they know how to do like Spider-Man, and they're doing a Wolverine game. But Square Enix said, hold on, give us one more shot. And this made up for Marvel's Avengers and stuff. I really, 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 really love this game, stuff like that. So if you guys have not played it, have not checked it out, stuff like that, please do so. Especially for that story, stuff like that. If not for ending the story, you really get invested, and you will know more about. And I found myself, learning more about the Guardians than what I already did, because if you guys don't know, I don't read comics and stuff, but I found myself caring more about the Guardians than what I did in the movies. So it's just great and stuff like that. Fantastic. It's a round of applause for this game, stuff like that. I will be doing another playthrough because the game is so great. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, amazing tier. Yeah, if you guys Deirdre TV. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Make sure you video our content channel so much. Stay tuned for my uploads, guys. Take it easy. Peace.